Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to an exciting episode of Inside the Art. Today we have a very special guest who's not just a superstar in the music world, but a beacon of culture and pride, an ambassador of Afropop. Yes, from the vibrant streets of Bamenda to the global stage, he has captured the hearts of many unique and a blend of Afropop, hip hop, and dancehall rhythms. Ladies and gentlemen, get ready to be inspired by the incredible journey of the one and only Magasco, who is known for electrifying stages worldwide. He's here live with us on Inside the Art. Mr. Bamenda boy Magasco, thank you for joining us today.
Original thing.
Yes.
The pleasure is my pleasure.
Mm-hmm. And thank you for your patience, man. I know we had one or two technical hiccups, but you know, Canada, it happens.
All right.
But let's get straight into business. Yes, let's get straight into it. I know you've been in Canada for a while now, and last night you shut down Toronto. Basically, you literally closed it. If that keys of the city that they say Drake had, I think that last night you're the one who had the keys of the city.
Yeah, we thank God. Thank God. Shout out to the whole team, the football veterans. Shout out to Calgary too, because it was lit over there. Shout out to DJ Smooth and the whole team over there.
Yeah, so you just called Calgary, which tells me that you know quite a little bit about Canada. Let's before we even get into the intro, what are you doing here? What do you do in Canada?
Yeah, so I was here for the show. So I've done the show, supposed to perform in Calgary. More of an artistic presence, and we did a small show at the end of the day, but because I can't just come and meet my people and I don't perform, but we had like a real performance in Toronto. So at the end of the day, we had like 2 shows at the end of the day, and yeah, that's why I'm here.
So, I talked about you having the keys of the city. Last night, I know it was a total shutdown, the whole city. Every single Cameroonian was out there at the all-white veteran tournament gala, which you totally took over. And shout out to my boy, Remy Ray. I know he's been keeping you well in the city.
Yeah, shout out to Remy Ray. He's been amazing, He's been, this is the second time we're meeting. We met the first time when I first came and chopped it up a little bit. We did a song.
Nice.
Joker, go check that out.
Yes.
We're working on
it. With my Joker.
Yeah, we're planning on the video.
A Joker,
and
baby.
He was part of the Toronto team this time around. And we did our thing. We went on stage together.
Nice.
He's been amazing except for, you know what I mean? He's been amazing, but except for that thing, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Who gonna know?
Yeah.
Who gonna know? Inside the art, there's no filter, man.
Yeah.
But I wanna, again, I know we started this podcast by welcoming you, but I just want to welcome you. This is Inside the Art. It's a platform where we try to, get personal with artists, not just artists, but we look at life as an art itself. And even just before the podcast, I was telling you, sometimes I've personally connected to artists because I know other things apart from their music. I can Google so much stuff about what the media puts out, what the bloggers. We're going to get into bloggers because we're just talking about how bloggers can take things to go wayward.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to getting to know more about you today. Yeah, so basically, I want to start by the way, let's just go back to, you obviously are known as Bamenda boy, which means you really you really, are proud of being from the Northwest, from Bamenda. But can you tell me a little bit about just how, you grew up in Bamenda and how you became an artist? How did this thing all start?
Bro, I was born an artist. Even when I was in my mom's belly, I was singing, bro. So when I came out, I always saw myself as an artist. Even when I was 5, I would see myself as an artist. I would stand in front of a bush and the wind would be blowing trees and I'll be looking at the trees like a crowd. So my imagination would transform the trees and the grass into people. You get? So that's how I've always been, and growing up, when I started watching movies, concerts, other artists from, Europe, America, some of our big artists like the Manu Dibangos, I just felt attached, and that's how I started trying to find out how do they do it. Once I met people like Pazzo, who was also a dreamer like me, that was it. Here we are now.
Yeah, and things have been, your music is a combination of, Afro. You're one of the artists, in my opinion, that has expanded the spectrum of Afro beats. You understand? Not just Afrobeat, but like music. You have taken music to a stretch. It's a combination. At first, we only hear Makossa, came here. I'm talking about Cameroon music, and people are looking at me. They say only Makossa.
Yeah.
What you talking about, man? What you talking about?
Yo, me, I'm all about good music.
Yes.
So I am risking it. I do everything, but one particular thing I know, I have been the king of dancehall in Cameroon ever since I started making music.
That's very interesting. Say that again, Bombokla.
Let me say it one more time. I've been the king of dancehall music in Cameroon ever since I started making dancehall music. But because I make dancehall music when I am lazy, because it's so easy for me to make it. So I risk it, because when I feel bored, that's when I risk doing other genres of music. You get like, I would do Bikutsi. I would try to fuse Njang and Rumba. I would, I just want to make good music. Yep.
Yeah, so you're really talking about dancehall, and you are the king of dancehall in Cameroon. How did you get into dancehall? Now you've talked about relating to artists who are more really of an Afrocentric background, but here you are being the king of dancehall. How did that happen?
Bro, as I said, I've been interested in music ever since I was 5. So at 5 years, when I could talk and understand stuff, my interest was into music. So if I'm passing somewhere and music is playing, I just want to know how they did it. And guess what? The music that used to really, really play around when I was 5 years was dancehall music.
Like who?
Shabarans. Some songs that I don't even know the people. Make a deal, man, and something, give me we can deal. Like, so many kind of dancehall songs. I was like, damn, what's going on? Like, I was so interested that I would just re-sing these songs. I would do cover for these songs without, we couldn't record and all that. So I started doing that when I was like 6, 7. I would be able to redo songs of all these dancehall legends. So I didn't even know the wordings, but I could go with the flow. Like I could get the flow embedded in my, my DNA. So when I could now understand the words, I now could transform it from patois to pidgin. So now I would use pidgin to flow like it sound like it's patois, but it's pidgin. You get? So that's how I created my own style of dancehall music.
Damn. That's very interesting, because even when we came to Canada, I realized that so much dancehall, I don't know if they didn't understand that, or they didn't know that the beats, it kind of has similar beats as well to Afrobeat. It's all about the beats as well, right? It's all about. But I'm kind of wondering, just before I get into more personal stuff, I'm kind of wondering, what is your creative process as an artist? Is there, certain things that give you inspiration? Is there, was there someone in your family as well that did music that influenced you? What is it that, where does this spring from?
Bro, I'm the first person in like a whole generation of a lifetime of my family.
Wow.
I'm the first musician.
Wow.
So my inspiration comes from everything I've been listening to ever since I was a kid.
Wow.
To what I am today, you get. So it's that's why I kind of do everything, because when I fell in love with music, I would listen to, we only had CRTV back in the day.
Yes.
And we only had some discotheques around our quartier where they would play dancehall music. So I would rather listen to Makosa, Bikusi, you get, on CRTV, or if I'm going to the discotheques around the quartier, it was dancehall music, reggae dancehall, Bob Marley, Lucky Dube, and all that.
Yeah.
So that's just basically my environment when I grew up.
So now let's fast forward from, that childhood as you grew up. You went to University of Yaoundé.
Yeah.
You studied history.
Yep.
When was the point that you knew that this was something that you have to do? Of course, this is it sounds to me like this is something that was inborn. This was just your blood bleeding music.
Yeah.
But there was a point that you said, you know what, this is it.
Yeah, I was able to do secondary and high school because of my mom. Because basically I knew that was not my place. I knew that I'll never use these things whatsoever. I'll never use history or whatsoever. You get. So I didn't even want to go to school. My mom, I have so much love for my mom. So I had to, she had to cry and tell me like, boy, you need to have at least a degree for you to do whatever you want to do. And, out of respect for her, I went to school.
Yeah.
That was it.
Were you like a troublesome kid? Were you cantankeros?
Nah, I was a very peaceful. Like, you can go to my neighborhood. I come from a very, it was a bit wild. Ntamulung is a very,
Shout it out again, please.
Yeah,
Shout out Ntamulung.
Ntamulung, my day when I was, back in the days, my days when I grew up. Right now is a bit peaceful because, a lot of things have changed. Nearly all Pikin and Nana are bottom. So a lot of things is not still the same kind of Ntamulung, that I grew up in. But still, you can go and ask. I was, the calm guy who was always calm.
Yeah. I mean, I can see that, man. Honestly, I can feel that you are just from the personal time that I've been privileged and opportune to spend with you. You are a very humble man, and it speaks for itself. It speaks for your work. So let's fast track. Let's keep going. So you now you're on the global stage, really. You have a tour you have just pretty much I'll call what you've done in Canada a mini tour. You're about to go into Europe. I was asking you earlier, what are the cities you're going to? You're just slapping it like as if you're playing draft or Belgium, Germany, Berlin. You're just slapping it. What does that mean? How does it mean to represent not just yourself, not just Ntamulung, not just Cameroon, but to represent your art on the global stage?
I mean, it feels amazing because, coming from where I'm coming from today, everything I do is a win for me. You get. I didn't even believe I would be able to get to. Well, I didn't know. I believed, but I didn't know I was gonna get to a level where I'll even get to travel. You get, because it was always like a how can I say,
like a hustle,
a dream, but. Yeah, it was just a dream, but now it's reality. So, it's by the grace of God. I am humble, and as I said, everything to me today is a win, and I am humbled about it because it's not given to everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there got to be something about you that makes you stand out. It's not, again, you have just said it, it's not everybody that can merit or can have these kind of blessings that you have. You know, it's not just about talent, but also I want to believe that you can agree that, you know, God is involved, right?
Yeah.
You know,
Most important, God is the default. You know,
Yes.
by default, God is involved, and He's been seeing my little steps, everything that I've been doing, my efforts. And
yeah.
I think He's the one guiding me. Yeah.
So, but what makes you stand out? What is the kind of discipline that you need to apprehend to maintain this kind of standard?
It's the work ethic, and plus being in competition with only myself. You know, that's my work ethic. I look at what I did last, and I compare it to what I'm doing now. And, you know, I don't look at what whoever is doing. My process is my process. I know that I am unique. So my process is unique to me and my existence. So I'm working towards my own process. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I've heard that a lot, and I definitely believe in that philosophy. You are your only competition. I want to talk a little bit about the support that you have, and I know family for you is very important. I want to talk about, you know, from when you started doing music up to this moment, how has family been influential in how your music has progressed? I know you've talked about your daughter, Heart.
Yep.
That's your daughter's name?
Yeah.
Yeah. You've talked about your daughter being one of your biggest fans. You know, how has family been influential in the where you are at today?
Yeah. In the beginning, it was hard because my family, you know, music is it's a very hard business. So when you say you want to be a musician, your family will always be like, nah. So in the beginning, it was a bit hard. And at some point, I had to work hard to prove to them, like, music too is a job. And, you know, I really want to do this. So when they accepted, they started supporting, you know. Today now I'm a father.
Yeah.
And a father of two.
Oh,
So
congratulations.
so I just had my second daughter.
Ooh.
You know, shout out to her, VITA.
VITA. Nice.
And, you know, they inspire me so much. So my first daughter, I had to do a double album for her.
Wow.
So the Heart album was dedicated to my first daughter. And there's going to be a second album called VITA.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Congratulations. You know, as someone who recently became a father, I get it. It's
priceless.
It's a life-changing.
You cannot explain it to anybody. Nobody can understand except they are a father too.
Yeah. No, I mean, you know, especially I can imagine when you come back from tour or you're out there hustling, it's like you just want to have that moment where you can just give them a hug.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. You know, since we're getting personal, let's get a little bit personal, but I'm going to be a little bit spicy now.
Yep.
Are you ready for spicy dicey?
Let's go.
Hala. So Magasco in the building, inside the art, you already know. So this is not me saying it. I seen from bloggers. You even said in your show yesterday, you know, your partner, they left you for a scammer. I heard me, I'm just a messenger. But what go on with that?
Yo, man, that was some bullshit. That was some bullshit. That's it.
Yeah, the bloggers carried it wild, you know. Do you want to speak about that?
Man, it is what it is. It's some bullshit. That's what I'm saying.
When you say bullshit, like, what I mean, it didn't happen. Like, that's some messed up scenario. Like, what go on with that,
bruh? That was some bullshit. That's all I can say. But yeah, you know, in life, in life, all I can say is, look, to my fellow brothers, you know, what you give is what you get. You get,
yes.
If you are irresponsible with your choices, you're going to get irresponsible consequences. I was irresponsible with my choices, and I had irresponsible consequences. So that was some bullshit. That's it.
I get it. Inside the hour, we're gonna leave it at that. That was some bullshit. Yes, we take that for an answer. Changut, marked, ticked. Yes, that was a bullshit. Fallon, Max Taflon, that noise, yeah. Inside the art. Yeah, man. But you know, it's crazy. You're not shy to talk about that. You actually use that as part of, that's who you are. And again, they say, if nobody can know how it feels if you're not wearing the shoe. So you're really the one that knows what happened. You're the one who has the background and the entire story of all of that, right?
Bro, it was some bullshit.
It was some bullshit. So if Magasco is not doing music, what is Magasco doing?
Yeah, I'll be a father. I'll just be a father. I will be, chilling with my kids. I've been blessed to have two beautiful girls. And when I'm not making music, yeah, I'm most definitely spending time with them.
Okay, that's cool. I'm curious, do you play any instruments?
Well, I'm mostly into production, so I compose with softwares and yeah, I can play some few like a gong or drums, depending on what I really want in my instrumental, and that's it.
Okay. And are any of your kids gearing towards picking up skills from their daddy?
Heart is crazy.
Whoa.
Man, Heart can sing.
The next big thing.
Yeah, Heart can sing. I don't know where she wants to take it to. It's up to her, but, right now she took like the best child in their school. She came out the best singer.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. I'm sure you must be super proud about that.
Super proud.
Yeah. So I'm just wondering, when we're from Cameroon and there's a lot of stuff going on, especially us from Northwest, there's so much going on. Now, it's very, whether you like it or not, and whether you know it, that the things that you say matter a lot. You can't just go on Instagram or on social media and say whatever you want to say. But which also means that the things that you say are very influential. You are not just an artist, you are also an influencer. So given that where we come from, there's serious, I'll call it war. The serious atrocities that have been taking place in our homeland. Do you find that, firstly, so this question is in two parts. Do you use that influence to say anything about that? And also, do you think that when you say anything about that has any kind of repercussion to you?
Not really, because I am part of it. So we are all Cameroonians, and what's going on in-house is affecting everybody. So every time I have the chance to talk about it, I talk about it. Shout out to X Malaya. 1 week ago, we put out a song just expressing how we feel about the whole crisis and everything. So every time we have the chance, I talk about it. I try to create awareness, and I want to be part of the solution. So yeah.
And if I were to ask you, maybe creeping a little bit further, what would you think? And I'm not asking you to give me the answer to this, but in your opinion, some of us who have been out here for so long, and it feels like we've lost touch with what is happening. I even scared. I tell my parents that I don't know if I want to go back to Bamenda because it feels like it's not the same place anymore. I feel like I will not even recognize the cities. I will not even recognize the streets. I will not recognize the people anymore. But what do you think should be done? What do you think is the way forward?
Well, I think the way forward is, my opinion is, we should, as a people, look into our problems, look into the mirror and ask ourselves honest questions and give honest answers. And I think that is a way forward, because pointing fingers left, right, center will never help anything. You get? So
some of these problems,
we just have to be honest with our problems and be honest with the solutions. And if there is honesty, everything is going to change. Because right now, a whole lot of things are going on left, right, center. There's a lot of dishonesty. There's a whole lot of things going on, that I cannot explain. But I think we need a lot of honesty to solve this problem.
And some of those problems are actually internal as well.
Yeah.
Right. So before we get out there and point fingers, we need to start to address our own issues. Yeah. So just moving forward, I want to know about some of the things that are coming up. I know you're working on a million things, but could you possibly tell us some of the projects that are coming up? I know I'll let you.
Yeah, I just said, the album VITA is coming up.
Yes.
The VITA album is coming up.
When is this?
Very soon, soon. Just very, very soon.
With just the wait.
So yeah, we're going to announce that it's coming up very soon.
Okay, so that's like the main thing on the
that's
pipeline.
The main thing. That's the main thing on the way.
Okay. I'm looking forward to that. Here in Toronto, I know when they're talking about Afrobeat, obviously the Niger Afrobeat is more louder, but as those who are in the city, we try our best to push those things when they come out. So I definitely I'm looking forward to that, including on my crates.
It's coming.
We'll drop it on the clubs, there I was just asking you earlier if you were able to connect with any. I know you had a very, very short time here in Toronto. But I'm just curious if you. Let me just talk a little bit about some of your collabs. If you are collabing, just generally, what kind of artists are you looking for to include in your taste, in your kind of archives? What kind of artists are you looking to collab with?
I'm looking for artists like when I feel like you have passion for what you're doing. That's it. When you have passion, that's it.
Passion.
Yeah.
That's all it takes?
That's all it takes.
Okay. And how do you decipher passion?
Passion to me is I test you. I test your willingness. I test your humility. I test your patience. All these things are what, these are the aspects that make up passion. So I test all these things and then, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I got a couple of questions, just a couple of questions before we round this off. And I know you will be back to the studio for us to check how things are going. But what I know, there are a lot of you hear from a small city, from a small quartier, I'll call it, in Bamenda, and there are a lot of I look on better things, I look on all the 237 boss. I see all these artists who are like trying to make it there, but and now you're here and you're basically living a dream. What kind of what word do you have for these people? What kind of advice do you have for artists who are really trying to get themselves out there and become looking up to people like you?
I would tell them to follow good example.
Okay.
Yeah, follow good example. Look at me, for instance, right? Ask questions. Don't look at the success. Look at the struggle. Don't always look at the success, because it's going to mislead you.
Yeah.
Always ask yourself, how did this person get there? Now you're going to get the mistakes the person made. You're going to see the good things the person made. Now you copy the good things, and then you avoid the mistakes, and that's it. You're good to go.
Yeah. And would you say you've had challenges in your journey?
All kinds of challenges, all kinds, so I'm still having challenges, but at a different level. So I just think, and I'm always open to share my challenges. sometimes I just post my challenges online. But
For example?
Yeah, for example, I was talking about artists should look at contracts and should not be in a hurry to sign contracts. You get, and I had like two comments. You get, and I had like 15 likes. That's just to tell you how uninterested the topics like that are to the young ones.
Yeah.
But if I pull up in a topless, maybe a Bentley, like what I did in Calgary, I'm going to have 20,000 likes.
Crazy.
So people look too much on the success than on the struggle. So when you're trying to put out sense, just a few people come, are interested. So I think the young ones, you guys should stop looking at the success. Look at the struggle.
No, that's a very, very practical example that you've given. And, when you think about it, it's actually crazy. Yeah. So, my last question for you, and really thank you for your time generously. I have enjoyed speaking to you, on a personal level. What is, I always, inside the art is, I look at it like life is an art. I look at it like every artist or every human works with a certain philosophy in life, even the way you carry yourself along, the way you move, just your beliefs, and ultimately your message when you're doing music and you're doing what you do best. What would you say is your philosophy in life? What kind of lessons do you think that you want to impact on the world?
Well, I said it before, my work ethic is very practical. You go with what you have.
Yeah.
If you say for instance, you want to shoot a video, what are the resources that you have? Do you have money to be able to hire like a big director? If the answer is no, what do you have to shoot the video? If you have a phone, do you have a phone that has a camera? If you don't have it, then get a friend that has a phone that has a camera. You get? Be practical with your resources. That way you are able to achieve, product. Because it's an industry of productivity. So to own a product, you have to be practical with the resources that you have. Now, when you have these resources, that's how you come up with the product. It doesn't matter how low quality the product might be for a while, but it's going to take you to the next level. Yeah. Because from, it's step by step. You don't just get there. It is step by step.
Yeah. 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 It's been an absolute pleasure to have you here. And I know I'm looking forward to have you back here.
We coming back. We coming back. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. I know it's been a charged program in Canada as well, but I really want to thank you for, spending some time with us here in the studio. We took a break from the podcast, and you are literally launching our new Inside the Art Studios. Yes, thank you for blessing us with vibes, with that energy from last night.
They don't know.
You don't know. Can you, where can we find you on the socials, on the grams, Magasco?
Everywhere is Magasco. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Spotify.
We're going to drop it here.
Magasco.
We're going to drop it here. Magasco worldwide, Magasco on all platforms. It's been a pleasure having a superstar all the way from Cameroon on a world tour, right in our studio, Inside the Art. It's been a pleasure having some wisdom dropping right in here in our studio. Magasco, Bamenda boy, Inside the Art. Say Inside the Art for us here.
Inside the Art, you already know what it is.
Thank you so much.
Dang, 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 dang.
Peace.
Original thing.
Thank you so much. Yes, my name is Diamond Promo. Big up to everyone listening to Inside the Art. Make sure you like, subscribe, check us out on every platform. We publish Inside the Art on over 30 platforms. Wherever you listen to your podcasts, go get the good vibes. Peace.